My whole adult life, I never cried before. When this thing happened, that was the next time I cried in my life. Why? Why?
Hello everyone, welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this bulletin, fuel prices are set to go up this weekend, even if government extends temporary interventions aimed at cushioning consumers of rising crude prices. We'll be live with the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Also in this bulletin, Ghana's economy expands significantly by 7.7% for February this year, more from the latest monthly indicator of economic growth numbers.
The MEC index increased to 111.3. up from 103.3 recorded in February 2025. This means that Ghana's economy grew by 7.7%.
Plus, on the Joy Business Van today, we take you to Bethel Clinic Dental, where high-tech dentistry meets human touch. Details of this and more for you this day. Thanks so much for your time. I am Pious, Kojo Backah. And looking at our stories, Ghana's economy grew significantly by 7.7% for the month of February this year, compared to 3.9% recorded in the same period for 2024. That's according to the latest monthly indicator of economic growth numbers released by the Ghana Statistical Service. Dr. Hassan Idrisu is the government statistician.
The MEC index increased to 111.3. up from 103.3 recorded in February 2025. This means that Ghana's economy grew by 7.7% compared to the same period last year. This is a strong improvement from the 3.9% growth recorded in February 2025. What this tells us is that economic activity strengthened considerably in February 2026, reflecting improved business activity, stronger production levels, and growing confidence across key sectors of the economy. Looking at the sectors individually, agriculture recorded a growth rate of 3.8%. While the sector continued to grow, this was slower than the 9.4% recorded in February 2025. Growth in agriculture was mainly supported by crops, livestock, and forestry activities. Industry recorded the highest sector growth at 9.6% compared to 2.8% in February 2025. This strong performance was driven mainly by increased activity in mining and quarrying, manufacturing, and electricity production. The services sector also expanded strongly by 7.4%, up from 4.4% in February 2025. The growth was largely supported by information and communication, finance and insurance, trade, and health services. In terms of contribution to overall growth, services contributed nearly 48% of the total growth recorded in February 2026, while industry contributed about 44%. Agriculture contributed about 6%. These February results provide an important early indication that Ghana's economy is maintaining positive momentum in the first quarter of 2026.
Government is likely to sign up to a new program with the International Monetary Fund after the completion of the current extended credit facility in August of this year. Details in this report.
The move is part of measures by government to try and give donor partners and investors some assurance that Ghana is still committed to fiscal discipline post-completion of the current program at the IMF in August this year. It is also part of measures to try and bring everyone on board, that is government agencies, departments and ministries, when it comes to President John Mahama's commitment to prudent spending and checking budget overruns after the completion of this program this year. However, government sources have told Joy Business that if it goes ahead to request for this program, it should not be seen that it is not committed to fiscal discipline after the current program completion. A formal announcement could be made in the coming weeks or in the mid-year review of the 2026 budget estimates by the Finance Minister, Dr. Akufo-Addo. The policy coordination instrument is a non-financing program open to all IMF member countries. It enables closer dialogue with these countries and endorsement of policies by the IMF, which allows them to signal commitment to reforms. This program, if government goes ahead to sign up, will not come with any funding, and it could take up to 2 or 4 years.
Standard Chartered Bank has announced the appointment of the current Executive Director and Head of Corporates, Kojo, as its new Managing Director. According to the bank, his appointment takes effect from June 11. He takes over from Mansanate, who is retiring from the bank after more than 20 years of service with the bank. Mr. Kojo has over 20 years' experience and has held various roles within the Standard Chartered Bank Group, including Director of Global Corporates in London, United Kingdom. All right, let's now touch on our lead story for today. Oil marketing companies have revealed that fuel prices are set to go up from this weekend. That is, even if government decides to extend current policy aimed at cushioning consumers from pricing crude oil prices largely on the international market. Now, the policy is set to expire this Friday. We know that, and the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, Dr. Rivi Singopon, joins us via Zoom for a conversation on the back of this. Thank you very much, sir, for making time to join us here on Business Live. And what's the outlook for prices of petroleum products from this weekend?
Yeah, thank you. And greetings to yourself and your listener. The outlook is yet to come out officially, especially looking at the fact that the government needs to take a decision on still intervening or letting the intervention go up. And like you really said, regardless of what the government does with the current intervention, fuel prices are to go up to an extent. So we believe that by the 14th or latest 15th of the month, the 16th, from 16th of May, we're going to have fuel prices shooting up. If you look at the international benchmark prices, which is very relative to what we see at the pumps, we have seen fuel prices on the international benchmark prices, going up. For example, for petrol going up by almost 10%, and also for diesel also going up by 3%. And ideally, even with our stabilized CD, the SREF will surely have a shock, which will be related to what we see at the pumps. So currently, whatever the government decides to do, like I said, we expect to see an increase of, let's say, 3% in petrol, 2% averagely on diesel. And also with LPG, I would say that it's a very peculiar product because of the bid rounds that MP is doing. It has helped us. And let me be honest with you, because when the fuel prices on LPG, the August was going up, we were stabilized in terms of the prices other than what we experienced in the last two windows. So depending on what the price floor will just give us, we will see not anything more than 3% increase on the LPG. And this is where we have intervention coming in. And without intervention, we're going to see a 5% for petrol and 14% for diesel.
All right. So by way of education, what do you think has influenced these price hikes at the pumps?
Yeah, the sort of humus was said to have been open. Iran opened it, but America went behind Iran to close it. So I think for me it's a kind of a chicken and egg situation here. America was negotiating with Iran to open it. They opened it, and now America has come to close it. And there's been a lot of bombings, a lot of scarcity around the slipway, and that has brought the same kind of plateau as far as the risk component of freight is, and in a way as also affecting the reliability of the Strait of Hormuz. Until then, we believe that this is going to be a plateau for the oil and gas industry as far as diesel and petrol is concerned.
All right. With that said, are you also concerned that as of now, government is yet to come up with its position of a possible extension like various industry players are calling for to cushion consumers largely?
Well, I'm not government, and I advise the government on policies. We've told the government what to do, but it seems the government won't do what it knows best. When it comes to the extension or not extending it, we as oil marketing companies are saying it. It needs not to be delayed. All right. Today is 13th. Tomorrow is 14th. We want to know what to do by end of business tomorrow, because these kind of decisions affect our operations, decision making and liftings. All right. So, government, please, whether you are extending it or not, just come and tell us. Thanks to MPA. Today, MPA has declared paying my members for the deficient in the debt, that has arisen from the discount the government gave on diesel. And I expect payment to go by Friday to my oil marketing companies and LPG, of course, oil marketing companies, so that it doesn't bring financial burden on them. That is what I will look out for as an industry coordinator or CEO of PUMAC. But whether the government wants to decide to continue or not, that's its own decision.
All right. And it does appear that government extends the policy. Will that lead to lower prices at the pumps?
Of course. Obviously the same. The impact of the rise in fuel prices will not be so much as to not extending it, no doubt. But I'm not the one to advise the government to do it or not to do it.
Professor, are there proposals or basically there are proposals, I should say, to buy crude from Nigeria and refine in Ghana? What could be the impact of this at the pumps?
Is it not funny when a country that produces oil is looking at buying crude oil from another country that equally produces it? I don't know who is making that suggestion. I thought this suggestion would be, now Ghana wants to refine its own crude oil. Sit with the refineries and say, hey, look, I'm doing merchant, I'm doing tolling, or I'm doing vertically integrated, which is of course not possible unless store is ready to do that, or probably in a hybrid. Let's define the commercial terms in the trading arm. Let me tell you this: the multinational companies are ready to refine in Africa now because they've realized that this is where things are safe. This is the continent to invest in. Have you seen what Dangote is doing in East Africa? Dangote is looking at building a refinery in Kenya. And I made a comment today, why not Tanzania? Probably because there's an oil pipeline from Uganda to Tanzania, which you can get your crude oil easily from Total or Sinok, rather than going to Kenya where there's no pipeline for crude oil. Now see, you produce oil. We've seen problems with production, no doubt. Production is going down, but it does not prevent you from talking to ENI and tell and say, hey, I want to sit down with you and broker a deal to refine the crude oil you're producing in my country. Worst case scenario, GMPC has stake in the crude oil that we are producing. Start from there. Give the assurance to these foreign investors who are really looking at investing or bringing products to Africa as well. Now, the question is this: would that bring crude oil price, the diesel and then petrol prices down? The answer is no. Fuel availability does not give fuel affordability. I would say, I mean, there's not direct correlation when it comes to the distribution aspect of it. Someone said a very, very funny joke that, but the Strait of Hormuz is in the Middle East. Why are we in Africa suffering from prices? Absolutely. It tells you the role of the international benchmark prices in the determination of pump prices globally. Everywhere in the world is relating or practicing pricing with reference to the international benchmark prices. What is more dangerous is when prices are high and you also don't have reliability of supply, like we saw in East Africa. They're ready to pay at any price, but there's no fuel. That is where you realize that you don't have energy sovereignty. You have the crude oil, but you don't have the diesel. That's what we call the paradox of plenty. Right. You have it, but you don't have it.
All right. Very finally on this, quickly, if you can do that for me. We are learning that prices are likely to go up higher again due to developments in the Middle East. I don't know your thoughts on that as quickly as you can do that for me.
Yeah, so like I said, we feel that there's going to be a plateau. Whatever the government is going to do or decide to do, whatever price you're going to see in the market today will likely be the same prices in the next window.
All right. Thank you very much. Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, Dr. Rivers Singopong. I'm glad you could speak to me here on Business Live. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with the Joy Business Plan.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Hello, my name is Pamela from customer service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabedim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Hello again, welcome back to Business Live. In a world where healthcare often feels rushed and impersonal, one clinic in Ghana is changing the game, blending high-tech dentistry with a human touch to give patients something worth smiling about. This is Bethel Dental Clinic. More on our Joy Business One episode today.
Welcome to Bethel Dental Clinic. My name is Dominic Ansan Asifua. I'm in charge of business development at Bethel Dental Clinic.
In the heart of Ghana's capital, Accra, a quiet transformation is taking place, one smile at a time. Welcome to Bethel Dental Clinic, where cutting-edge dental care meets compassionate service.
Our clinic is built with patient comfort, accessibility, and inclusivity in mind. Innovation is at the heart of everything that we do. And when you come to Bethel Dental Clinic, right at our car park, you can be assured of a covered and secured parking. We have a lift which makes movement very easy for the aged, the people with mobility challenges, and our clinic is on one floor, making movement very easy for everyone. Patient comfort is very key to us, and so at our waiting area, we have PlayStation for kids, we have toys, and as a matter of fact, an entertainment area for kids. We treat our patients with coffee and tea. We make sure that our patients are comfortable and are ready for their treatment. So dentistry, usually people get anxious when they hear of the dental clinic, and what we try to do is to take that anxiety away. So at Bethel, we do implants, we do braces, we do all the procedures that you would want. We also ensure that we have invested in advanced technology, and so we use minimally invasive instruments in the provision of our services.
From routine checkups and cosmetic dentistry to orthodontics and advanced surgical procedures, Bethel Dental Clinic is redefining oral healthcare in Ghana. At the core of their practice, a commitment to innovation using digital x-rays, intraoral scanners, and modern techniques to deliver faster, safer, and more accurate results.
So, I'm Dr. Junaid Akhtar Sheikh. I am an endodontist. I'm a root canal specialist here at Bethel Dental Clinic. So, what we have here is a dental microscope. Okay, so the dental microscope has ushered us into an era of precision, comfort, and enhanced healthcare. So, with the help of the microscope, it enhances the magnification, and it helps us to improve the actual quality of the oral health care. The best part of the microscope is that it enhances the magnification to such a level that the things which we cannot see with a naked eye or even with a loops that we are able to see with the microscopes. It helps us to see if there is any decay, okay, if there are any micro cracks, okay, when we are doing root canal, it helps us to find if there are any accessory or missing canals, okay. So with the help of the microscope, the dentist and the patient, they both gain from it to achieve a enhanced oral health care. Also, we have a dental 3D printer from Formlabs. Okay, so it helps us to improve accuracy in the forming of prosthesis. It has reduced the overall production time of the restorations. Means when the other techniques would take like a day or a week or more than that, with the help of the 3D printers, it has reduced the overall fabrication time to few hours or on the same day.
With a modern clinic management system, patients can easily book appointments, access their records, and make secure payments, all designed to make the experience seamless, efficient, and stress-free. Next time, we'll hear more about how Bethel Dental Clinic is setting a new standard for oral health in Ghana with smart systems, skilled professionals, and state-of-the-art care.
And gone by was a Joy Business Fund. Now, Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Sam George, says the government is targeting 70% nationwide 5G population coverage by March next year. Speaking at the 15th anniversary launch of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications in Accra, the minister said the move forms part of efforts to accelerate Ghana's digital transformation agenda.
According to the Minister for Communication, the rollout of 5G infrastructure is expected to improve connectivity, support innovation, and create opportunities for businesses, education, healthcare, and financial technology services.
Spectrum allocations will now follow a competitive national bidding process. We will keep the wholesale framework, so market players will have multiple complementary pathways to roll out next generation services. The NCA is following due process to ensure there is fairness to all the affected licensees. But our target is unambiguous. We want to have 70% population coverage of 5G by Ghana's 70th Independence Day celebrations in March 2027.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Sylvia Owusu-Ankrumah, commended the ministry for what she described as a swift and strategic move to position Ghana to take advantage of 5G technology.
So on 5G, just like any technology, we alluded to the fact that in mature markets, people have even moved to 6G. So Ghana is about 8 years behind the 5G revolution. So I'm excited that the ministry is now setting us on the right path. We were in a framework where we only had a wholesaler, and he's liberating the space in such a way that it's competitive enough to have the spectrum auctioned in order for that to happen, the 70% coverage by 70. It's an ambitious ask for the industry, but I strongly believe that the conversations we're marking today with the GSMA, which is going to give us global best practices when it comes to auctioning.
The 15th anniversary celebration of the Chamber brought together key stakeholders in the telecommunications and digital technology ecosystem to discuss the future of connectivity and innovation in Ghana.
You can get more stories when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Let's see what's there. Ghana's economy expands by 7.7% in February 2026, according to the Ghana Statistical Service. Also on that portal, you see cocoa processing company interdicts 7 staff over 4.37 million cedis audit discrepancies. More stories. We don't accuse the BOG of mismanagement. We only highlighted. That's according to Kojo. More stories when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I am Pious Kojo Backah. Thank you so much for watching.
kasa fi police station na traffic light no be say no say no o kan be how you papa how you papa na sa traffic light na say no won yi na won kese fi we be di mira so anas we di mira so na hwe ba ko bo airport first one second one now the court say Shangri-La so red na red no gina so ya nti o green ba o green na ma no is red night
Night falls in Amangwase and life grinds to a halt. No electricity, no light. Years of broken promises have kept the community in darkness, with residents still waiting for a connection to the national grid.
Do you have any question? Okay, so we are taking another example.
It's a few days to the basic education certificate examination, and for final year JHS candidates in the village, preparing for their future means battling something more than just exams.
It's very difficult for me to learn because we are using the same flashlight in the house. My mom will be using that one to cook, and I have to also come to classes, so I need to eat before. So I won't get flashlight to come to class, so I need to stop the class and wait in the house.
Can anyone tell us what to do?
Inside this dimly lit classroom, students take their final mathematics revision lessons.
Clap hands for her. Very good.
Each night, they gather as their teacher leads them through revision across subjects. But unlike their friends in other towns and cities, learning at night for the external exams in this part of the world without electricity is a daunting task.
I want to become a midwife in the future, but in this condition, no light, and I know I can't learn ICT, but I'm trying my best to learn and achieve my dreams in the future.
I'm a doctor by and I'm a Kenyan who's 17. I'm a BBI slow into Unya at Agency and Additions were a bit of work from. Do you from about Baduna Dessa until Unya light and first year. Torchlight also mama baby
Today they are fortunate to have one parent give out her solar lamp to aid their learning. The lamp flickers from the ceiling, barely lighting the classroom.
Sometimes they even come with torchlights and other things for studies, and it's not helping issues. We can't even have regular meetings in the evenings because of the lighting system.
So we didn't be a light no. Starting book no so by can light na nina bafo there's an aya e chira you board no so there's an the watching na ya adwin ho sa nti ya be on say obeti by o kai sebia ka light wa na ti bisia ka we nyina ayere ambanti na sana ma wa adwin na bebe.
The absence of electricity is heavily impacting academic performance here.
For this community, I've taken all the students as my own. And as you can see, a parent and your child goes for a BC and then eventually the person fills up. At least you feel the pain. And sometimes, I sometimes wonder, how can I do to help them? Sometimes I try to even convey them from here to a nearby place where there is electricity so that I can at least demonstrate something for them to understand. And for once, you can't do that, and it's pathetic.
Good evening. How are we? I'm fine. Let's take our seats.
This has been the plight of the many graduates the community has produced. Look at Danso, once among the top brightest students of his class, recounts the ordeal he and his peers survived in their primary school days decades ago.
Kai say, me, I was once like you. Me could be sa. Mkrasimu de cry you, Mokona ha. Buamaton and echo. Monsieur Buye, we are a boy, Yakone Samba. Where 7 in number. So when we were about writing BEC, we had asked to go into a different school because we were few. Unfortunately for us, when the results came, there was a single number. So we're like, it could either be Danso, Majid, Fatal, or another guy. But we had to go and check and find out who actually had the single number. And when we did that, we realized that Majid, my colleague in the village over here, had a single number. In fact, it was, something very interesting. We're full of joy because we from the village with our lights, walking, for a long distance to school. But we were encouraged to learn because
The Amangwasi community is home to over 300 residents, founded nearly 50 years ago by laborers who traveled down south to work on a plantation. The village is seeing a growing population, but the community located on the fringes of the Jabin municipality in the Shanti region has since the time of its first settlers not experienced electricity. The residents have for years relied on torchlights, kerosene lamps, and in some homes, solar panels.
Light in the ho, or baby or the obetimiano, a light idea, Eddie and Sio Crobeton, the Sebi Wanya, Cacradia, Twediana Mancola, BBS anyhow. And to Sebi, yes, Charlie Hanuma, I dare obetimi adan light in the ho. This I am by a fascica in your quafu, Aquado, near Cacraba bed, Abeya Mancolan. Light in the who here power cruma. Go doing Mr. Granamina boy on mobile, a born one, what ivy. Also, I'm down, so I light in one room, and I'm never over sauce a water than a wounds I want no more. Oh, rather.
Even daytime crying, who a friend said police for had oh, maybe once in a while, no more between echo. So, but me would say my a friend said security there, Yamina day, a boy on home by Waha.
In 2020, the community was thrown into a frenzy when some political actors arrived with electricity poles and assured them of connecting their homes to the national grid. But the poles were never erected. They now lie in weeds, almost deteriorating.
2020, and I left with 2 days as a car airport to Aba. Near who say, car be at the poles here, Ebakuruma. So I done a need Jeba Krumha. And I say, oh, and the young open to maintain your light. And now, only pools and every tour. So now, almost I was, oh, you're too above your mobile continue, and you're too above here. At that time, no, not no school. So to me, one committee for a fair pools, no, a per se, a quote. This like a sample, and I am going who they are area. Contractor, not. Omode basa I wano na ese ka odi adwuma na wakache na se ade no na I can pick keke na omode beto ho because omo ye adwuma na wie wodwaben na post na ka na omo sesa de a ese ye na ya ma omo press say per light na omode re omode be gu ho so omode adaye.
The joy that erupted the day diminished by the several nights that never came with electricity. The moments rather left a stark reminder of what they describe as political deceit.
I think of the light more than even getting myself as employed because I look at the young ones, how I passed through. Were they able to do that? But time I said, because I could remember us in this village. Now we stay in this village. We walk from Mars to Kwaso. That's why I started my primary school. Was this able to do that? So that's why we think like we have to come together, and we are appealing to anybody who is capable to come in our aid, because the situation is getting very worse.
Just as they have been forgotten in the dark, reaching their loved ones even through mobile phones and social media is a real struggle. On this heap of sand, I meet Ibrahim, crumbling for internet connectivity to reach a friend.
Light in the light in the serious because light in the one me and network so only see people be crowd and say no cry and as I say network no cry for fort bound I say network no cry the network no fan the light no so here because a drain blah on se mlantie de nkaja nka light okruma anaja de enjoy kakra so nya light no ntia du bobe no nsia ne fa anaja obi akọ hye ne dem bet nka light wo de anka bit mat na bontia mana cha akra so essence light no ntino yentime nye sa no mana FA no
na wabetena na de na wo yentia internet hu hia wontia na network hia wontia wabetena ase
ampacho me chat
o chat one
madam fu bi na no chat
just one betena ha wontimi ni wadam fu na obi an
dabi ko kura wontimi ye uya etutesa and
helper
or hamper.
In the Jobe municipality, only 69.4% households have access to electricity from the national grid, with 16.5% households using flashlights, while 11.5% use kerosene lamps. Just like Amangwase, several communities within the municipality yearn for electricity. Adama Al-Hassan is the assembly member for the Duapompo electoral.
We have sent a proposal on several occasions. They have made even requests. They have made a request that we should bring our problem with the challenge of the light. That is not only this community. I have submitted several communities. We have a community like Bankroso and other communities, even Yabuokum. We didn't have light there. So we have made several submissions of documents indicating that we urgently need light here to support our people.
A recent electrification project in the adjoining communities ends less than 5 kilometers away from the village.
This is a junction connecting 3 constituencies. On my right is a road that leads to Bosomtwe constituency. Right in front of me is one that leads to Bosome Freho constituency. And behind me is one that leads to Amangwase under the Jabin constituency. And in the 2 constituencies, that's Bosomtwe and also Bosome Freho, electric poles are running through the communities, and so for them they have lights. But unfortunately for the residents at Amangwase under the Jabin constituency, electricity is one they desperately look for.
After decades in the shadows, the people of Amangwase are done waiting. Typically on weekends in villages, funerals, weddings or any other customary events take center stage. But today isn't like any of those days. The joy of the kids in this village as they dance to a traditional tune is one of a renewed hope to study at night without drudgery. The atmosphere under the tents at the event reeks of desperation and zest to see their village lit up at night after many years of neglect.
Oh boy, I say. Oh boy, 20 million. Oh wow. Wow. And Canyon into you. And I would hear 2,000. And the upway and Canyon into.
From their meager incomes as farmers, the residents in one accord pool their resources together for the electrification project. From voluntary donations to auction sales of their farm produce, they must raise at least 400,000 cedis to connect their homes to the national grid.
Humanitarian grounds, I think we are not being fair to the people here, because if you don't have light, how do you do other activities? Like for example, we are having this interview going on. So how do we even watch what we are going to show? It's worrying.
Sadia, you see above for DNA. You penkaniano. You have Sabanse. Also, almost you are saying, you have any number by almost you are saying no more cree. The creation tumpon. You have a cry.
Electricity in the community is an end to a social canker in the village.
And it maybe na teenage pregnancy koso yi pa because the internet koso nse na wonsa ayesum enti enyabo no nsia kwa bebi ayesum but light ni nya ba shake ma be ma sa de ni nyina asesa ama disua no so ayeden akosuru yi pa.
So as we've worked how many examples? 4. Do anyone have a question on what we have studied so far?
For these children, Studying at night is not a routine. It is a struggle. A struggle against failing light, against fatigue, against a system that has left them behind.
I feel bad because I can't learn ICT, and those in the city can learn ICT, and we are going to write the same exams. So somehow I feel bad. I'm pleading them to help us get electricity.
People have been in this situation, but they have able to rise up. But what if lights come again? We think it will help. That is taking some of us that no matter how, we all fight and fight until that day that the light will come to this community. I will never sleep. I will never sleep.
And as this community strains every muscle to raise 400,000 cedis for something many take for granted, one question lingers: how long should the people pay for what should already be theirs? For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.